here for Board Game Geek TV at Spiel 2014. I'm sitting down with Jeff Gagne. How are you? Z-Man Games / Philosophia.
Yes.
And you brought us, which I was very impressed picking this up. There's a lot of weight in this little box.
Not a lot of room.
Yes, of Akrotiri.
Yes.
Another two-player game.
Yes, another two-player game by Jay Cormier and Sen Foon Lim. Jay who designed the very popular Belfort, and Sen, I will have to apologize to him because I actually don't know what he did, but I know he's been helping Jay a lot. He's a very nice fellow Canadian.
Yay, Canada! All right, so what are we trying to? How are we winning?
All right, so in Akrotiri we are explorer, trying to find lost temples in the Aegean Sea region in Greece, and each player gets their own little boat that are going to travel around the ever-expanding area in order to get the resources needed that yeah, I'm just not taking the time to place them. And then to bring them back to the island to sell and get some money in order to fund the excavations. And what's really interesting about the game is that you've got your tiles and you place them. And when you place a tile, you always have to place one resource that is depicted here. So in this case, I would have to place a blue resource and then a resource of my choice. Now note that whichever resource I place will have an impact on the market already. So players have a lot of control on what is available, what is not, and the price of said resources. The only restriction in the placement is that it cannot be on the same island, so I'm not going to, like, you could place the tile in such a way that the two would end up on the same island. Now, in order to excavate, you have these maps, which that's the cost because, well, of course, I guess that they're not going to give you the maps for free, and those are victory points. So the harder they are, the more expensive they get, but the more VPs they're going to give.
Makes sense.
And in order to find a temple, what the map tells us is that here there is a temple where, not to the north, because let's say I'm playing here, this is how I will look at the card, but my opponent will look at it this way. Okay, so that's basically to simplify these old cards. So above the temple, there has to be a lake. To the left, a volcano, and then up below it, a mountain. So in this current setup, we would have, well, we'd be missing the mountain. So there are ways in the game that you can wish for a specific type of tile or get really lucky in this video presentation. So on my turn, since I placed the tile with the resources, I'd be able to place it wherever I wanted in order to find the temples. Now, placing the temples is very important in the game because those are the nifty little player boards that have the various actions that are possible. And as you place temples, you will gain more options. So the first temple that you place means that next turn, instead of having 3 actions, you're going to get 4. And then you get the bonus cards, which I will show later, and then you get 5 actions and all that. And of course, when you place your last one, this is the last turn, so this is how it's triggered. And at the end of the game, you look at your score. You said how we win, of course, with the most VPs. The temples give VPs, and the bonuses. So we have various types of bonuses. For instance, for each temple that you have on an island with olive trees, you'll score some points. If you have a temple on an island that has 3 different symbols, you score some more points. So that's really the gist of the game. It's really I wouldn't say simple, it's easy to pick up and play.
Well, I'm noticing pretty much everything you need to know is also on this card here for all your different actions.
So we've got the place a tile, add resources. An important thing to know is that, unlike in Carcassonne, a very famous tile placement game, here you actually have your tile ahead of time. So during your opponent's turn, you can sort of visualize,
look at the thing, scout out where you
in order. Okay, so I want this. You look at your objectives. and then you've got your actions. There are some free actions, and of course, what scores at the end of the game.
And I imagine that also would help keep the pace moving along too, because you wouldn't be sitting there.
Well,
the whole
yes,
time.
actually, that's one of the things. When we started showing this game, people were wondering why was it not a 3 or 4 player game? But what we found was that during testing, there was a lot of downtime because let's pretend we were 4. You play your turn. By the time I get to my turn, 3 more tiles will have been added, which changes the whole landscape. With 2, it kept the game to a more reasonable length, which was a lot more interesting and didn't have people zoning out.
And I did just want to highlight here too, because you were having a little trouble doing this one-handed before, but the cubes do fit inside the boat.
They do fit.
Just to be extra awesome. There we go.
They're not all easy, but it depends on the side. So right here, we're trying to do this fast. But yes, they do fit. Then you move them around, and when you bring them back, you sell them, and that's really the game, which is much more simple than the one I just presented. Fields of Ireland.
Well, Jeff, thank you again for
My
coming
pleasure.
over and bringing us Akrotiri.
Try it, you'll love it.